It's prime time in Dallas, and this city is ready for Monday Night Football. The Dallas Cowboys have won 3 Super Bowl titles in the last 5 years. It's been a remarkable run of excellence for quarterback Troy Aikman, the front man on a group of high-profile superstars playing for America's most visible team. Michael Irvin, the confident receivers, contributed smartly to the Dallas era of invincibility. And for years, the best running back in football has been Emmitt Smith. But now the rest of the NFL is closing in on the Cowboys, sensing that this team's competitive life cycle is nearing its end. Dallas has been losing games to teams they used to beat routinely. Emmitt deals with the new reality.
When you play well and consistently, you win games. When you're struggling and playing like a roller coaster ride, up and down, up and down, up and down, you have a tendency to have a mediocre season. And right now we're having a mediocre season. We are a team that could easily get things ironed out fairly quickly and actually get on the roll and cause a lot of damage.
The perennial Super Bowl contenders are now fighting just to make the playoffs. The Carolina Panthers play the Dallas Cowboys on ABC's Monday Night Football. December evening, sold out, of course, 65,000 plus as Carolina comes to visit the Dallas Cowboys. Hello again, everyone. Frank Gifford with Al Michaels and Dan Dierdorf. Welcome to Texas Stadium. Showdown time for Dallas and Carolina. These two teams met in the playoffs a year ago. Carolina won that one. They went on to lose to Green Bay in the conference championship, and my, how the mighty have fallen. They both come into tonight with 6-7 records. The losers all but mathematically eliminated from the playoffs, while the winner remains very much alive. Dallas, of course, 10-6 a year ago, and Carolina 12-4. They won their division. Al, both teams have to be disappointed in, particularly Carolina. They have really fallen.
After last year, of course, Frank, they had such high hopes, but things began ominously for this team in training camp. Kevin Green led the National Football League in sacks last season, but he was a holdout and subsequently was released and signed with San Francisco, and defensively they just haven't been the same. Offensively, Kerry Collins was coming off a good year at quarterback, but in his 3rd season, in the 2nd preseason game, he suffered a fractured jaw. Then he missed the first 2 regular season games. Dom Capers, the coach, said we brought him back too early, and he has not been in rhythm all season and leads the league with 18 interceptions. But along the way, they have been playing well enough to at least be mathematically alive for a playoff spot. But they're coming off what Dom Capers calls the most agonizing loss he's ever suffered last week against New Orleans. Let's see if they can get it together tonight against a team, the Dallas Cowboys, Dan, with their own problems, coming off 2 very agonizing defeats.
Boy, they've had 10 days to try to get over those, Al, but it has not been difficult. A pair of losses in a span of 4 days to Green Bay and to the Oilers, where they lost by a total of 41 points, and in the process, they gave up 384 yards rushing in those 2 games. Well, to try to stop some of that this evening, they do get some good news in the fact that Leon Lett returns to the lineup tonight. The big defensive tackle, the Pro Bowl defensive tackle, has been suspended for a year. His last game was a year ago Thanksgiving. So hopefully Lett will be able to provide Dallas some stopgap relief in the middle of their defensive line. They do have bad news, though, in other areas. Tonight, Deion Sanders not able to play because of his broken rib. They start an undrafted free agent rookie at the corner, Kevin Mathis. You know Carolina is going after him tonight. So, as Frank said, the winner goes on. The loser, for all intents and purposes, goes home. What more can you ask for on a Monday night?
Over the last several years, there's never been a question, but always an expectation fulfilled. I'm Lynn Swan on the sideline with the head coach Barry Switzer. And Barry, this is like a playoff game. You need it to stay alive. Mental toughness, they say, is more important than the physical ability. Are they prepared to play hard football for this tonight?
I hope so, Lynn. We talked about that before we came out tonight. Mental toughness as a team, mental toughness as individuals, because some of our guys are hurt tonight. We're going to have to suck it up. We're going to have to play for each other. This team knows there's no tomorrow. We got to win or we're out of the race.
Coach, thank you very much. Good luck to you. And Al, they also say they need some big plays on the offense.
We'll find out if they can get them, because they will get the football. Will the Dallas Cowboys? To begin things, as John Casey kicks off, Herschel Walker and Brock Marion are back deep for the Cowboys. Beautiful night, nice and dry. Last night it poured, but the temperature tonight in the 50s. Full house as always. And here we go from Irving, Texas. Herschel Walker from the 6-yard line. A pass gets the 20 and runs into a wall at the 24. And now the Cowboys offensively. Troy Aikman had back spasms before the Thanksgiving game, but was able to start. However, he was ineffective. They're his career numbers. He has Emmitt Smith in the backfield with him, and Emmitt with a bruised shoulder. Herschel Walker, the fullback. Miller and Irvin are the wideouts, and Eric Bjornsson, the tight end. And Dan talked about the change up front. Larry Allen to left tackle. Nate Newton, Clay Shiver, John Flannery, the new right guard, and Eric Williams, the right tackle. Carolina normally plays a 3-4, but they've been playing more of a 4-3 look defensively lately, and that's the way they open up tonight, with Sean King at defensive end and Emmitt Smith picking up 3 as he takes it out to the 28-yard line, and he's tackled by Greg Cragen. Now let's take a look at the Carolina defensive unit. They'll go back and forth tonight with Fox, Cragen, Miller, and King in the 4-3. And the linebackers will be Michael Barrow, Sam Mills, the oldest defensive player in the league at age 38, and Lamar Lathan. Eric Davis and Tyrone Poole are the corners. Chad Cota and the rookie Mike Minter out of Nebraska are the safeties. 2nd and 7 from the 28-yard line with Miller in motion and Emmitt Smith to the short side of the field and pushed out of bounds near the line of scrimmage by Lamar Lathan. Emmitt averaging 4.1 yards per carry. Last year was an off year for him. Things have been better in terms of statistics this year, but that can be a little deceiving as well.
Well, there's Larry Allen, number 73, and what an adjustment he has tonight. A Pro Bowler at right guard tonight, because Mark Tuinei won't be back for the rest of the season for the Cowboys. In what might be a career move, he's moved out to left tackle, certainly for the rest of the year, but this is an awesome adjustment.
3rd down and 7, and Aikman fires over the middle, but too deep, intended for Michael Irvin, who'd gotten behind the corner and was free and is angry and frustrated that the two couldn't link.
Well, it would have been an excellent throw had Aikman been able to get it in there, because they are going to double up on Michael Irvin tonight. He got double coverage here. Aikman had to get it between the two defenders. They play a 2-deep defense a lot against Dallas. They'll play an up man. 38 is Poole, and coming over to help out with Mike Minter, the safety. It would have had to be an almost perfect throw.
Toby Goen, the rookie punter, and a flag is thrown before the snap. Full start along the...
Prior to the snap, false start, number 52, offense. 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
Along the front, Dexter Coakley, so that'll cost him 5.
It only takes a tremor, and that's all that Coakley had up front. More of a shiver. You saw the flinch on the other side of the ball. Joe Avesano, again, one of the best special teams coaches in football, upset at his troops making a mistake on their very first attempt to punt.
And they were introduced tonight. The special teams were introduced instead of the offense or the defense for the Cowboys. And Dan and I were watching it. Troy Aikman was the lead man, shaking hands with each of them as they came onto the field.
Trying everything he can.
Going to punt, Tyrone Poole back to return it. Short and a wobbly kick, but Poole lets it bounce. Fields on a hop at the 33-yard line. And runs it back out to the 36-yard line, where he's tackled by Herschel Walker. And here comes Kerry Collins, 5th guy picked in the draft in 1995. So in the first round, had a great year last year, guiding them into the NFC Championship game, but all over the place in 97. Began the year with that fractured jaw. Fred Lane is the rookie, and Scott Green, the blocking back. Muhammad and Caruth, another rookie, the wideouts, and Wesley Walls is their leading receiver at tight end. Brockemeyer, Campbell will have his hands full with Lett, Garcia, Skrepenak, and David Garrido along the offensive front. From the 37-yard line, Fred Lane out of Lane College in Tennessee picks up a couple to the 39-yard line, and Leon Lett is right in the middle of the action. On his first play, Leon Lett is right there for the tackle.
Well, that's where he gets the nickname Big Cat, because of that tremendous agility and speed for a 300-pounder.
Leon back after a year away for violating the substance abuse policy, joined by Tolbert, Hennings, and Carver up front. The linebackers are Godfrey, Strickland, and the rookie Dexter Coakley. And with Sanders out, Smith and Mathis are the corners, with Woodson and Marion the safeties. 2nd down, 7 from the 40, and Collins, the short drop, fires, and it is dropped by Muhsin Mohammed. He never had control. Cowboys contending they recovered a fumble, but incomplete, and Dion looking on. Only a spectator tonight because of the fractured rib, and the guy replacing him right there, Mathis, the undrafted rookie.
And he's only 5'9", going against the 6'2" Mohammed. Muhsin Mohammed had the ball, just bobbled it. And as Dan mentioned at the very top of the show, you can better believe that Kevin Mathis, the rookie, undrafted rookie, is going to get a lot of attention tonight as Dion is there to cheer him on. He can't help him.
3rd down 7 from the 40-yard line. 4-man rush. Lett breaks free, and the pass is incomplete. Leon Lett was able to come firing through. The pass was intended for Scott Green, and 3 and out for the Panthers.
2 of the 3 Carolina plays. Leon Lett single-handedly disrupts it and forces it into being a negative for the Panthers. Off the ball, the jump to the outside. Look at that move back to the inside he puts on Campbell. Of course, fresh legs on Leon Lett. Hasn't played football in a long time.
Ken Walter, a rookie, punting to Kevin Mathis, a rookie. So Mathis doing double duty tonight, starting corner, and spelling Sanders as the punt returner. The left-footed Walter gets off a high floating kick. Fair catch called for and made by Mathis at the 21. So Leon has seen his first action in a year, and we're underway in Irving, Texas. No score. Capers, hired by the Panthers when they were born, and has guided the team in every one of their games, and said last week that was the most agonizing defeat he's ever suffered. Dom, a defensive assistant for years with Jim Moore at New Orleans, and then just prior to getting the Carolina job, did a terrific job under Bill Cowher with the Pittsburgh Steelers.
But a real indication, guys, that times have changed, that a third-year coach of an expansion team is 5 games over 500.
First down for the Dallas Cowboys at the 21-yard line. Aikman over the middle, too tall for Michael Irvin.
We talked about size with receivers and defensive backs. Tyrone Poole is 5'8". He is the right cornerback for Carolina. Twice now Aikman's tried to go to Irving there. They're going to try to help him. They're going to try to help Poole because on the other side, Eric Davis, a Pro Bowl cornerback, he can play man for man. Now they're going to help Poole on the inside. Poole knows that, but he makes a good drive, poorly thrown ball, and you have to wonder if maybe Aikman is not troubled by that very sore thumb he has on his right hand and the right index finger.
He said the back was fine, but he pointed to his fingers before the game. 2nd down and 10 from the 21. Pump fake. Avoids the Miller sack and then throws low, intended for Michael Irvin. As always, drawing a crowd. This time it's Eric Davis. 3rd and 10. And Troy is now 0 for 3.
Good pressure from Miller, and it disrupted the timing between Irvin and Troy Aikman.
Well, the one thing we know for sure tonight is that Carolina is going to throw a bunch of multiple fronts and different looks on almost every down at the Cowboys. With Larry Allen playing his first game in a while out at left tackle, Flannery starting at right guard, Clay Shiver, new guy basically there in just this here at center. They're going to see a lot of different looks.
3rd down and 10. Aikman pressured, and again it's incomplete. So 3 times on this series he goes to Irvin. He went once to him on their first series, and Troy is 0 for 4.
And Emmitt Smith is hurt. Emmitt Smith with the bad shoulder. Emmitt Smith made a block on a play and can barely get off the field. He's got a bruised left shoulder coming into this game. It was a question about how long could Emmitt go. Well, I think we're seeing the answer.
Here he comes from the other side, right there, 22, and he just couldn't even lift his arm, Dan. He wasn't working all week long, and they didn't know how long he'd be able to go, and I think maybe we've seen it.
And Irvin almost hurts his knee right there when he gets rolled into, and Emmitt Smith couldn't raise his arm at all during practice, didn't catch a ball all week because he couldn't raise his arm, said he was going to try it tonight. That is about as bad as news as this Cowboys team could possibly get at the start of this game.
There was really no contact there.
No. His backup is Sherman Williams, as Toby Goins' kick is fielded by Tyrone Poole at the 29, and Poole brings it back to the 39-yard line. Panthers have it a little less than 3 minutes into the game, and they're working on Evan. No score.
On his way across the formation to pick up a blitzing Rod Smith, you can see he just reaches out and hits him with his left forearm. But watch him right there. He clutches and grabs that left shoulder. If he is in that much agony, I can't imagine taking on a 300-pound defensive tackle.
Now Fred Lane for the Panthers picks up 8 yards as he takes it across to the 47, and another look at how Emmitt Smith left the field.
Again, keep in mind, no contact at all during the week because of that bruised shoulder. And I know that Emmitt Smith has turned in miraculous performances before with bad shoulders. We all remember that game against the New York Giants. But, boy, you have to look at that and wonder, is he capable of playing tonight?
2nd down and 2. Panthers from the 47. Collins, who suffered a concussion last week, takes the flea flicker. Back from Lane, going deep, but good double coverage. And the pass thrown between 2 defenders to Muhsin Mohammed. Kevin Mathis was back there covering on the play as the Cowboys were not fooled, and Brock Marion helped out. It'll be 3rd down and 2. Monday Night Football is being brought to you by the all-new Wide Truck Grand Prix by Pontiac. Wider is better. United Artists Tomorrow Never Dies, starring Pierce Brosnan, opens everywhere December 19th. Sprint PCS. Experience the clear alternative to cellular today. And Budweiser. This Bud's for you.
Can't cover a flea flicker any better than that.
Perfect. 3rd down 2 from the 48. Collins missed no practice time this week after last week's concussion, and the pass here is incomplete. Green looks for the flag. Nothing doing. Covered by the rookie Dexter Coakley at just 5'10", 215 pounds, the pint-sized linebacker.
Well, Carolina is they're really hurt on their offensive passing game at the loss of this past week of Kerry. He broke his wrist. He's one starting wide receiver. Raheem Ismail, he is out. He was just coming into his own this season for Carolina. Neither one can be here tonight. And with Dallas vulnerable to the pass, they do not have the outside receivers to take advantage of it.
So 4th down, there has not been a completed pass in the game. And this punt by Ken Walter to Mathis, the rookie, who juggles the ball, loses the football. It's picked up back at the 4-yard line by Wendell Davis, and he is tackled at the 2. So Mathis, under pressure, did not call for the fair catch, and it almost cost him, but the Cowboys are backed up. Time for the Cowboys, as Emmitt Smith has the baseball cap on. His return is questionable. That's what they are listing it as officially as the game progresses, but it doesn't look promising at all, obviously. And Sherman Williams is the running back, and 86 Eric Bjornsson will line up as a blocking back.
They have the wrong personnel in there. Bjornsson walked up behind Aikman and said, "Hey, they've sent me in here, but what do I do?"
Ooh, what a start that is.
You know how frustrating it is to be in a 2-minute commercial break and then come out of it and you can't run a play. I think that look reflects it.
That's how
they get the right people out of there.
After the timeout, and look at these numbers, a quarterback comparison from hell.
I think Peyton Manning and Ryan Leaf are saying, hey, I could do better than that.
Oof. At least that's the way it begins. 1st down now from the 2-yard line. And they give it to Sherman Williams, and he has been seeing more and more action this season, spelling Emmitt Smith, and tonight he may have to go the rest of the way. The 3rd-year running back out of Alabama, picked by the Cowboys in the 2nd round in 1995, and a guy, when they picked him, they hoped that someday he would be Emmitt's successor.
He's had a problem hanging on to the football, too. He's fumbled 5 times this season, lost 3 of them, had a couple last week, and that doesn't make you very popular to your coaching staff. Whereas Emmitt never gives it up.
2nd and a long 2, and they've got a 1st down as Sherman Williams picks up 9 out to the 19. Corralled by Lamar Lathan, and Sherman almost as if to look toward the bench and say, I'll take care of it tonight.
Look at the way he's holding that football when he's coming through the line of scrimmage. I mean, he's an instinctive back. All backs that get to this level, I mean, they can't continue to do that. That's fine running in traffic, but where Sherman gets in trouble, he tries to stretch things a little further than he should, and that's where he has fumbled the ball this year. He perhaps lost the Arizona game early on with a fumble and hurt the Cowboys last week with one.
On the first down of the game, Aikman going deep for Irvin, pushing and bumping and shoving, and incomplete and no flags.
I think Aikman's hurt, Al. I think Aikman's hurt. He took a tremendous shot. Is there no end to the bad news for Dallas?
Aikman just trying to throw that up and let
he takes
Irvin go battle Poole for it, and Aikman
right in the ribs.
setup. Look at this shot.
Les Miller right in the right rib cage of Troy Aikman.
Well, he did not drive him into the turf, though.
No,
that's the good news.
But he caught him with his arm up in the air after delivering the football.
And Wade Wilson is the backup. Wade Wilson in his 17th season in the league at the age of 38.
Irvin in the duel with the 5'8" Poole and trying to get back to the football, and Poole positioning himself very well to keep Irvin from coming back and fighting for it.
Now this is, how much worse could this beginning possibly be for Dallas?
Wade Wilson been around a long time as a Pro Bowler with Minnesota many years ago, but this year he's only thrown the ball 18 times for Dallas. Tough act to replace.
Wilson would have started, remember, came close to starting Thanksgiving Day when Aikman with back spasms had to go back to the locker room, and Dallas didn't get the ball, and Jerry Jones with a very concerned look looking on. Emmitt Smith on the bench, Troy Aikman. Now we have to begin to wonder about his immediate future, at least in terms of this game, and there he is, and here comes Wilson to take over on 2nd down and 10 from the 20-yard line. Back to Williams, and this time the Panthers are right there as Les Miller and Lamar Lathan converge to knock him back for a loss of 3.
Lathan over the right side just closing down. Tremendous hit there. Lamar Lathan out of unprotected free agent from Houston. They got one on the other side, Michael Barrow. The two corners in that front 7. Lamar Lathan and Michael Barrow, both were free agents from Houston.
Well, they know that they're grossly undersized against this monstrous Cowboy line. Every down will be movement or blitzing of some shape, manner, or form.
3rd and 13, and Wilson guns it, and it's incomplete. Stepford Williams had it, couldn't hold on. So we still have not seen a completed pass in the game, and only one first down in the game, and it's 4th down.
Good delivery by Wade Wilson. He got it in between 2 defenders, and Stepford just didn't hang on to it. There's Poole, number 38.
Does Poole get a hand on this?
Boy, look, he might have knocked it out of there.
Yeah, he's up there close enough. He may get a hand in and strip it. He gets a bump a little bit early on Williams.
Now Toby going, already his 3rd punt of the game. Tyrone Poole is back to receive it. Fair catch called for at the 41-yard line. Panthers have it there. 8:56 left in the first quarter. A stuttering beginning in Irving, Texas. No score.
He awaits the Carolina Panthers, what they're going to do offensively early on. This is Leon in the first series, chasing a ball out towards the sidelines, making the tackle on the game's first play. Comes right back with pressure on the quarterback, forcing Collins out of the pocket. And again, look at him just taking the offensive guard, throwing him off to the side. They've been waiting for this man to get back on the football field for a long time. And there's Daryl Johnston, by the way, on the background talking to Troy Aikman.
And Aikman does appear as if he is going to be returning to the game.
Yep. Daryl had surgery on his neck. He gets that brace off next week. And again, just another of the many missing links here on this Dallas Cowboy football team. Key Pro Bowl football players that are no longer suited up.
Aikman appeared to mouth earlier, "I'm okay." Meanwhile, a lot of pointing going on as Fred Lane takes the ball for a first down across the 50-yard line. Finally stopped by Brock Marion, and that's their first down.
Well, we need less pointing and more playing defensively.
Well, we'll have plenty of playing next week. A beauty coming up from San Francisco next Monday night. The Denver Broncos and the San Francisco 49ers. And if that's not enough, they'll retire Joe Montana's number 16 at halftime. Denver and San Francisco in a beauty next Monday night. On first down, it's Lane again to the 39-yard line. Fred Lane, an undrafted rookie out of Lane College, and Lett is coming back into the game.
Well, they gave him a couple plays off, and look what happened. That play went right over where Leon Lett would have been, and Dave Campo, as much as I'm sure he'd like to give Leon a rest, can't afford to do so.
Well, Carolina's been running the ball really well, and they did well against New Orleans last week in their loss running the football, but even though they lost the game, but this youngster Fred Lane has really come on.
Lane again, and they have found this little gem as he takes it to the 31. Lane College, named after one Bishop Lane in Tennessee, a kid who played in a small school. It was the only place he could find to play college football. 147 yards rushing against Oakland, and for the moment he is their #1 running back.
You know, he had 1,800 yards as a junior at this little Lane College we're talking about. Somebody that sent me a letter saying it's not that small, but he got hurt as a senior and he was totally overlooked except by Carolina.
Won a job on the roster in training camp. Now on 1st and 10, Collins takes the play clock all the way down as he checks off, and it's Lane again. And they're doing it on the ground in a game in which we have not yet seen a single completed pass. The quarterbacks combined are 0 for 10. Meanwhile, Lane has carried the ball 6 times for 45 yards already.
How quickly things turn around in this game today. You look at Dom Capers, he was 12-4 a year ago. And Barry Switzer 10-6 into the playoffs again, and now both of them struggling to get back this year.
2nd and 4. They give it to Lane again, who puts his head down and fights for a first down, taking Fred Strickland with him inside the 21-yard line to move the chains.
Well, let's be serious now. If you're Joe Pendry, the offensive coordinator of Carolina, this is working out just fine because you've had erratic play from your starting quarterback. Kerry Collins, more than twice as many interceptions as he has touchdown passes. Do you really want to put the game in his hands, especially on the road against Dallas? Run it every chance you get.
And they keep it up, and this time the Cowboys are there to meet him. 6 plays on this drive, every one of them on the ground. Coakley with the tackle.
As we talked earlier too, Dan, with your 2 starting wide receivers both out of the game with injuries, Ishmael and Carrier. I mean, you want to run the football, keep it away from Dallas, but also move the sticks, try to keep it a tight game and win it late.
A running game is your best friend on the road.
2nd and 10, just inside the 20-yard line. One more time, it is Lane finding the going tougher as the drive moves down deeper. Broderick Thomas knocks him down to the 17.
Oh boy, somebody's hurt in there.
And the ball is loose, and the Dallas Cowboys have recovered the fumble. It is Darren Woodson at the bottom of the pile as they began to unpile.
Progress is ruled.
Yeah.
Forward progress was ruled. No fumble. 3rd down.
Well, the crowd exploded because the Cowboys started to run off the field, and Brock Marion will plead his case, but to no avail.
Well, I saw Darren Woodson at the bottom of that pile. I didn't realize he had the football, or was indicating that Brock did. They had taken it away from Lane, but they are going to allow the progress that the whistle had blown.
Yeah, that's the key part, Frank. That's what happens when one of the officials rules that forward progress has been reached. He blows the whistle, thus stopping the play.
Another look. Loses the ball, but it had been whistled dead at that point.
And I think by the look of that, that was a good call.
3rd and 6. Collins under pressure throws, and the quarterbacks are a combined 0 for 11 over 10 minutes into the game. It's 4th down, and you're looking at about a 35-yard field goal attempt.
Collins trying to look for his big tight end, Wesley Walls. He's their prime receiver in a situation like this, well covered. Had a couple of Cowboys draped around him. Stoudemire doing most of the work against Walls.
John Casey, who went to the Pro Bowl last season to attempt what will be a 34-yard field goal.
And the way this thing is starting off offensively, 3 points looks like a real bonanza, doesn't it?
And John Casey provides that bonanza. With 4:45 left in the opening quarter, it's Carolina on top. Panthers 3, Cowboys nothing. On the last series with the rib, Emmitt Smith still out and apparently not looking good for a return tonight, but Aikman will obviously be on his way back in as they receive the kick. Wade Wilson picked up on that last series. He has the baseball cap back on, and Carolina has a 3-0 lead.
The good news is that Aikman is coming back to bad news. He continues to get hit even though he doesn't get sacked that many times, he has been hit so many times this season as he releases the football. He has taken a real pounding, and particularly in the last 2 games against Green Bay and Tennessee. He took a real beating.
He's been very durable. Wilson's only extensive action this season would have been in the 1 game at Philadelphia. Casey kicks off. Herschel Walker from the 4-yard line. And Herschel, a guy who has provided so many big plays on special teams for the Cowboys in the last couple of years, does it again, brings it back to the 40.
He is so deceptively fast. Still, at advanced years, this man can run.
Frank, it's so deceptive because he runs in those little short, choppy steps.
But then when he accelerates, he just leaves you.
Look how he pulls it up. He takes small steps. He's not a long strider until he gets out of it. There he comes back with a choppy step. It's hard to imagine that Herschel Walker is still this elusive at this stage of his career. A real credit to the game is Herschel Walker.
First down from the 40-yard line. Williams, gain of 6. A look at Barry Switzer, and he is the subject of tonight's Home Depot Coaches Fact. He is the only coach in the history of the NFL to win a postseason game in each of his first 3 seasons. Barry now in his 4th year, and right now all he's thinking about is getting into postseason play. The Cowboys still have a chance to get in as either the NFC East champ or as a wild card. Second down and 4 from the 46. Williams, first down to the 46-yard line. So Sherman providing a burst now in place of Emmitt Smith.
Well, there's a little run to daylight. That play designed to go off right guard or right tackle, and Sherman takes it all the way around the left end.
And is probably a lot quicker than Emmitt Smith. Emmitt Smith provides a lot more power, but he is much quicker, and he sees the hole close on the right side, kicks it off to the left side, and gets the first down. Good move. He's covered up that football, too.
First down at the 45-yard line. Back to Sherman Williams, and a nice play cutting in from the outside and knocking him down after a gain of 1 was Tyrone Poole, who's all over the place.
Carolina went to more of a 4-3 defense. They kind of evolved into a 4-3 defense, and you guys remember September the 29th, that drive of the 49ers, that when Carolina was still in the game, 49ers kept that ball about 10 minutes, and that's where they decided, Fangio and Dom Capers, we've got to get bigger people to stop the run.
Well, we're looking at so many running plays. I'm waiting for one of these teams to break into the wishbone.
Well, you've got Switzer. You've got a guy who knows how to run it. Second down and 7.
Oh, baby.
Goes, and that is caught by Stepford Williams. Stop the pressures. A completed pass.
Dart by Troy Aikman. Right on the numbers.
So that's that forward pass thing we've been hearing about.
And catch.
Stepford finding a little opening. Aikman right on target, trying to cover Stepford with linebackers. Got in between the 2 of them and gets the completion.
So the game over 13 minutes old before we see a completed pass on either side, and I believe there's a penalty.
Prior to the snap, false start, number 63, offense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Was there a flag that was not thrown?
No, none that I saw. There was at least half a dozen on the ground, all catching John Flannery.
Flannery making that move to the right side. Allen going to the left.
And that's a good one. He went off sides before Troy even put his hands under center. That's really a false start.
First down 15. Walker and Williams in the backfield. Aikman guns it, and Michael Irvin went up and couldn't hold it, and in frustration kicks it away. Eric Davis got a hand in there.
Well, that's Pro Bowls for Eric Davis, and that's why. Great coverage, though, and Michael Irvin, he knows it, too.
Wonderful play by Eric Davis. That's trying to shield Michael Irvin from taking that slant to the inside. Almost impossible. You've got to get on his arms and pull them down from making the catch. That's exactly what Eric Davis did. Came in, his left arm, I think, is going to get around and just yanks the football right out of there.
And now on second down and 15, it's Williams pushed back by the venerable Sam Mills, Pro Bowl linebacker. And it's Sam Mills spearheading the defense as you look at downtown Dallas. The Goodyear blimp on a sparkling night.
Well, situations like this is where Anthony Miller was supposed to pay some dividends for the Dallas Cowboys. The guy on the other side of Michael Irvin that could make something happen. Anthony, to this point, not a part of this game.
3rd and 14, Nate Newton out, and George Hegeman in along the front 5. They set up the screen and a lot of traffic, and it's incomplete, intended for Sherman Williams.
Good read by the defensive unit for Carolina. We're talking to Ernie Zampese before the game. He said most of the time that ball appeared to be tipped. But he said most of the time they give you their fancy moves, their various blitzing defenses on 3rd down. Otherwise, they play pretty much a 2-deep zone, and there is a tip right there.
Andre Royal got up and just caught it with his left thumb and forefinger.
And that's Obi going. Will float one. And a fair catch is called for and made at the 13-yard line by Tyrone Poole. With 1 minute 4 seconds remaining in the opening quarter, 3-0 Carolina. And here's some NFL news presented by Budweiser. Warren Moon bruised ribs yesterday, and thus first-year player John Kitna starts Sunday for the Seahawks against the Raiders. The Jets losing to the Colts yesterday, 15 consecutive December losses for the Jets, tying an NFL record. And Jake Plummer of the Arizona Cardinals and of Arizona State, 4 touchdown passes yesterday. 3 other rookies since the merger with 4 in a game, including Plunkett, Aikman, and Bledsoe, all of whom have played in a Super Bowl. From the 14-yard line, Fred Lane, 2 hard yards, getting up to the 16.
I noticed with a plethora of quarterbacks' names on that page, only Jake Plummer gets his alma mater mentioned.
Well, the Snake, who should have led Arizona State to a Rose Bowl victory last year against Ohio State, but just came up short.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda.
Who's in the Rose Bowl this year, by the way?
I believe Washington State.
I know they are. And
the University of Michigan.
Is that right?
That's right.
2nd down and 9 as Scott Green takes it up to the 19-yard line.
The #1 team in the United States of America.
I hear you.
In every poll.
We've got 2 more weeks of this.
That's at least. Meanwhile, this season, fewest completions in a quarter, and there they are. Bengals against the Oilers on the 12th of October. Bucks Falcons November 9th. And in this game tonight, as this quarter winds down, it winds down with 1 completed pass.
Only one of those 6 teams has won 5 Super Bowls.
Yes. 1 for 14 total. 3-0. Monday Night Football resumes after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
Dallas Cowboys injured his back, played the last couple of years with an injured back, and gave it up a year ago, but he was the key to their passing game. He made it easy for Irvin, both outside receivers.
It's 3rd and 6, and a completion by Collins to Green on a 3rd and 6, taking it all the way out to the 40-yard line. Omar Stoutmeyer makes the tackle, and Kerry Collins into the 2nd quarter completes his first pass of the game.
And to a man in green that was completely forgotten and left alone by the Dallas defense. Now, granted, this is a team that hadn't completed a pass yet, so why pay attention to anybody who's a threat to catch the ball? We look at the first quarter numbers, not much in the way of offense by anybody, and that's because only 10 total passing yards the entire quarter.
And now it is Wesley Walls who makes the catch. He caught 8 last week and 8 the week before. So after no completions in the first quarter, back-to-back.
And Wesley Walls, again, having Pro Bowl numbers this year, 55 receptions, that's 56. A year ago, he went to the Pro Bowl with 61. This quarter reflects just about what we were talking about.
The only good news in that quarter, there were no turnovers.
2nd down. Long 1. Short 2, your preference from the 49-yard line. And Green, the fullback, takes it across the 50, and that's a first down for the Panthers. Dom Capers, if his team is to get to the playoffs, there are several ways they can do it, but the easiest way for Carolina to do it would be to win all 3 games, including Green Bay next week and then St. Louis the last week, and then have Detroit lose 1 game and Washington lose 1 game. That's the easiest of the ways in which they can get to the playoffs.
Now, normally you would say, well, they get that Green Bay and St. Louis will both be at home in Charlotte, but they played very poorly there this year, only 2-4 at home, where they were one time invincible.
Last year unbeaten, and that's broken up by Mathis, intended for Muhsin Mohammed.
Well, Kevin Mathis, he had a touchdown on mine right there. He had set up really well for that ball, made a break for it. The ball was poorly thrown by Collins. Had that ball been thrown accurately, this could have been a 6-pointer.
Or if he was 6 inches taller, that might have been
that would have helped. He's only 5'9". Collins having a tough year. That ball might have been touched.
It looked like it changed its arc a little bit, didn't it? Looked like it took off.
2nd and 10 now for the 49, and Freddie Lane behind a green block. Picks up 5. Brock Marion makes the tackle at the 44. It'll set up a 3rd down and 5.
Boy, Brock Marion was all alone over there, too. That was some play by the Cowboy free safety, as we've got an altercation clear over in the Cowboy bench. Looks like Kevin Smith. He's working against Muhammad. And Muhammad takes Smith. Well, he takes him all the way up to the first. Now, that is one fine block by a wide receiver. That's the way you're supposed to take a corner and plant him in the flower garden.
Well, he had those Velcro hands, though. And Woodson did not like it.
Kevin Smith got taken for a bit of a ride there by Muhsin Muhammad.
Muhammad, 6'2" and 217. 3rd down and 4 now from the 43-yard line. Panthers up 3-zip early in the 2nd quarter. Blitz forcing Collins to throw quickly and incomplete.
Late flag.
Caruth. A late flag comes in as Dexter Coakley.
Oh, we're going to get roughing the passer.
Was blitzing, and Bob McElwee will indicate first down.
Number 52, roughing the passer, going to the face. 15 yards, first down.
First of all, Dexter Coakley has to reach a long way to get to Kerry Collins' face.
He has to jump up.
Coakley at 5'10", Collins at a good 6'5", closer to 6'6". Here it is from the backside. Oh yeah, and Dexter Coakley came in with the left hand. Let's see if we can see if he hits Collins in a face mask. Yep. That's what Bob McElwee sees. That's what he calls. It looked like it was intentional.
I think it was face mask on face mask. You saw Collins' head just jerked back.
You don't think that's his hand, Frank?
I think it was his face mask.
From the 28-yard line, this is Lane picking up 5 through the middle. Collins has already had, as we said earlier, a fractured jaw this year. Suffered at the hands of Bill Romanowski in preseason. He was fine for it, and last week he suffered a concussion after he threw an interception. One of the great blocks of all time by Leroy Glover knocked him out of the game.
Let's look again now. 52.
There's the left hand and the face mask, both hitting Collins in the face. The fact is, you're not allowed to hit a quarterback in the head under any circumstances, or you're allowed to hit him in the head.
2nd and 4, and again it's Lane, and this time he gets hogtied. Leon Lett got that big arm around him to slow the progress. It'll be 3rd down. Strickland finished them off.
Lett returning just in time. The last 2 games, the Cowboys have given up almost 400 yards rushing between Green Bay and Tennessee, and he's made a difference already tonight. Big difference.
3-0 Panthers. 11:40 left in the first half.
He appears to be in good shape, too. He played a lot of basketball.
That adrenaline, though, that got him to a good start, that's got to be leaving right about now, Frank. As we all know, the legs have got to start getting a little heavy.
3rd down and 3. And the pass is caught and slung out of bounds is Green at the 18-yard line, close to a first down, covered by Darren Woodson. They needed 3, and that's just about what they got.
Leon Lett is giving Matthew Campbell a tough time. He is hitting him and spinning him and tossing him in different directions. I know that Matthew Campbell is thinking to himself, he has got to slow this down. And that's the best news he could possibly see. Leon over on the Cowboys sideline.
Either a first down or 4th and
they got it.
2 first down. So the penalty keeps the drive alive. Now they convert on 3rd down to keep it alive, and it's first down at the 18-yard line.
That's Leon on the lower left. Watch this power. look at that, how he just takes Campbell down. That's a nice reaction by Campbell, spinning all the way back around to get in, but with one hand he got underneath Campbell's pads, up in the air, spun him around. You know, there just aren't many guys in this game capable of doing that.
Leon gets a rest. Antonio Anderson in. And Lane gets knocked back at the line of scrimmage. Hennings is there, and Strickland is there as well. Texas Stadium, site of so many memorable games. The famed hole in the roof in Irving, Texas. Not far from downtown.
Dallas still almost, but they're very close to being the #1 team on Monday night now in numerical terms. It's a 55. I think this is 56.
A staple for years on this package. Second down and 10. Here come the Cowboys. Everybody coming, and Collins throws it out of the end zone.
I think Kevin Mathis was offsides. Kevin Mathis was coming on a blitz.
And there's a flag.
And it looked to me like he was across the line of scrimmage before the snap.
And that will be the call.
That's called feedback. This is Mathis. Yeah, there he goes. He's well into the neutral zone before the snap of the football. Blitzes are all about timing. Mathis trying to get an early jump and just mistimed it badly.
And all about playing, and Mathis, this is the first time he's played.
Again, if you weren't with us at the top of the show, Deion Sanders inactive for tonight's game. He's got a broken rib on the right side and wasn't able to do anything at the Cowboys complex all weekend. Mathis gets the go.
So it's second down and 5 now, and to the ground again with Lane swinging to the outside, and the undrafted free rookie gets ridden down by Kevin Smith at the 11-yard line. So another big third down coming up, third and a deuce.
How's that for a reaction by Kevin Smith? He has to contain on that side, and he gets beaten, and yet he is fast enough to get all the way back out there and make the tackle. At this point in time, Kevin's in trouble. And yet he gets out there, and boy, he just latches onto the shoulder pad of Lane and makes the play. Nice save.
Woodson. But how many times have you seen a defensive back get a face mask call in a situation like that? He avoided that.
You're exactly right.
13th play of the drive, and the Cowboys blitz, and the pass is complete. And did they stop him short of the first down? Darren Woodson tackles the backup tight end Walter Rasby a little shy of the first down.
Ooh, decision time.
And Dom Capers, a very interesting call here. Fourth down, less than 1. Take a look at the mark and see if it was the correct mark.
A wonderful job by Woodson of stopping the forward momentum of Rasby. Rasby has the football, trying to stretch it out. His body's on the ground, but Woodson, it looked like to me they're just a tad short. But it looked to me like Woodson wasn't going to be able to stop the momentum, and yet he did, of a man considerably bigger than he.
He's one of the great tacklers in this game today. Great run support safety, he and Brock Marion. And Lord knows they've had to provide it this year.
2 or 3 inches, it looks like, is all Carolina needs for a first down.
4th and inches. Dave Campbell, the defensive coordinator.
It'll be noisy.
Scott Green is the sole setback. And Collins under center. Gives it to Green, and the fullback gets stood up and sent back by Randall Godfrey. And it's so close, it's hard to venture a guess at this point.
It's very close.
I don't think he made it. I don't think if he got there, that it would surprise me.
This drive began at the 15-yard line. The Panthers have had enormous problems this year sustaining long drives. He needed an inch.
All right, well, by that look, he didn't get it.
He did not. He didn't. Got nothing. So this long march down the field, this march that started at the 15 dies at the 9. 3-0 Panthers.
Godfrey doesn't block him, and really there's absolutely no chance at picking up that first down. I have to assume that there's some type of a mistake in the blocking scheme.
Now the Cowboys from their 9. Aikman on a roll. That's his second completion.
situation, but it's for next to nothing as David LaFleur makes the catch after a gain of a couple. Monday Night Football is being brought to you by Dodge Durango. New ground for the new Dodge. Bud Light, if you want great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down, make it a Bud Light. Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of the Super Bowl. And DVD video from Philips Magnavox. Technology for the heart, the spirit, and the imagination. Well, the spirit can be broken if you're the Panthers and you go 76 yards in 14 plays and come up with nothing. But that's what just happened to them. As Williams takes it up to the 13-yard line.
A year ago, their defense, they could do this because their defense was so powerful. This year, their defense is far from what it was a year ago, as is their offense. But their defense was the key to this Carolina success of a year ago, and it's a radically different defense. You wouldn't mind going on 4th and short down around the 10 or 15 because you know your defense would get the ball back.
3rd and 6. Aikman. Brilliant protection up front, but somebody trying to get open, and the pass is not complete as Irvin made the catch but out of bounds, and Michael slow and rising, probably out of frustration.
Don't you think we just saw a little microcosm of the Cowboys season that they would get that type of protection? Troy Aikman, one of the most gifted quarterbacks in the game, with that much time to survey the field, can't find an open receiver and complete a pass.
There's a lot of responsibility to the wide receivers, too, that Troy just stayed locked up looking only for Irvin, as he's prone to do, and Irvin just couldn't come open.
Well, it wasn't through lack of effort. Quite a job of pushing off by Michael.
Toby going. 43-yard punt. Tyrone Poole swinging to the outside and taken down at the 49-yard line, and that's where the Panthers will take over with 8 minutes 6 seconds remaining in the half. Carolina 3, Dallas nothing. Game with an injured shoulder, so very limited practice time this week, and he has not played since very early in the first quarter. Of course, Deion Sanders is out. We've talked about that. Leon Lett is back. Dallas trails 3-0, and Kerry Collins on first down from the 49-yard line, going deep, and a flag is thrown because we've got plenty of contact. Kevin Mathis, the rookie, and Muhsin Mohammed tied up at around the 38-yard line.
Well, that's the matchup we talked about at the very beginning of the game. We thought we'd see a lot of, with Mathis replacing Deion Sanders and Mohammed going about 215 and 6'2", and it really is a mismatch size-wise.
Well, Mathis, first of all, bites all over the pump fake by Kerry Collins. Here comes the pump fake right now. There comes Mathis, and it's over. He has no choice but to run into Mohammed.
Either that or he's looking at 6.
Yeah, if he lets him go by, it's an automatic touchdown.
One of the few times they've left him on an island there without help to the inside.
Well executed pump and go by the Panthers. And there is no mercy in this game. That guy's out. The rookie is in. Here we come.
From the 46-yard line, Fred Lane slips a tackle and then gets taken down at the 40-yard line. Shoulder tackled by Mathis. And let's check in with Lynn Swan. Lynn, what you got?
Well, Al, I talked to Deion before the game began. He said, you know, Mathis is a real good athlete. He had high praise for him and his ability to play this game and thought he would do very well in this ball game. The guy he was most concerned with, the guy he said he would have the most pressure, would be Kevin Smith, because he said Kevin Smith tonight is taking on Deion's entire role, Al.
Well, right now, most of the damage being done against the Cowboys is on the ground by this man, Fred Lane, who has already rushed for 79 yards, and here he is taken down by Antonio Anderson, very close to a first down.
But what Deion's absence does is that for the first time this year, it forces Dallas to play a balanced defense. They're always able to just take Deion Sanders, lock him up. He played his own game on that side of the field. Now they have to play both sides. It's really forced to change by the other 10 guys on the defensive team.
And, of course, they're going to help Mathis. They're going to leave Kevin Smith out on an island. Interestingly enough, though, only one wide receiver has caught a football in this game thus far tonight, Stepford Williams. Only one wide receiver thus far.
3rd down and 1 now from the 37-yard line. Collins throws, and here's your second catch by Ray Caruth, their #1 draft choice out of Colorado. First down at the 29.
Well, there goes Ray Caruth with a catch. So now we've got another. The question you have to ask when Dallas has the football, where's Anthony Miller? Miller not even a part of this football game tonight, not having one ball come his direction.
He, of course, represents the speed that was supposed to stretch the field and make it easier for Michael Irvin to work underneath. It just hasn't worked out that way. But much has not worked out for the Cowboys this year.
From the 29-yard line on first down. Boy, Lett got off the line quickly. Collins dropped the football, picks it back up, and throws incomplete.
It gets crushed by Leon Lett as he tries to throw it. The timing of the play ruined after Collins drops it and Lett smothers it.
Collins coming off a game last week in which he suffered a concussion, and there was concern whether he would play tonight. Again, Leon Lett just mauling Matthew Campbell. Campbell, number 66. Leon jumping the count just a bit, but did not draw the flag.
Yeah, he anticipated the snap count. He did it there again, too, but he's onside.
Here's Lane fighting his way inside the 25 to the 24-yard line, setting up a 3rd down and 5 with under 6 minutes to play in the first half. The Carolina Panthers last year going all the way to the NFC Championship game. It's funny the way they've intersected with the Jaguars. The Panthers decided to start with the veterans when they were born, and the veterans led them to the NFC Championship game. The Jaguars with a much younger team, and now the teams are really intersected. Carolina going down this year, and the Jaguars still ascending. Yesterday notwithstanding. 3rd down and 5 at the 24-yard line. Here come the Cowboys. The blitz is picked up, and Collins throws, and a flag is thrown as contact with Muhammad is made by Kevin Smith.
Kevin Smith with that blitz knows he's all alone down there inside the 20-yard line. He's going to play it tight.
26 defense. That's a 5-yard penalty and an automatic first down.
It's blatant. Muhammad is just going to make a break and come back upfield. Kevin Smith has the momentum, and watch this. He just grabs hold and hangs on. Not here.
Well, he's hanging
right
on
here. Well, look at that. There it is right there.
I think you could call either one.
Yeah.
Kevin was all over him.
The first one was okay. It was a minor mugging. The second one was an undressing.
Kevin Smith is used to this. He usually gets all the action over on his side.
And there it is, the Cowboys with 6 penalties for 40 yards, and Carolina has yet to be flagged almost 25 minutes into the game. Collins from the 19 throws into traffic and then knocked down by Woodson, intended for Wesley Walls.
Woodson had a physical problem in the middle of the year, missed 1 game, but he's having another great year. He is really the heart of this defensive secondary.
No, if
Deion Sanders gets all the credit, and Kevin Smith with the great coverage, but game after game, Darren Woodson is just plays superbly well.
You're right. If everybody on this defensive unit played to Woodson's level, they'd be just fine.
2nd and 10 from the 19-yard line. Gain of 4 to the 15 he goes. 3rd down and 6. Brock Marion and Chad Hennings in on the stop. Lett comes back in. Leon pretty much deciding when he needs the break. He decides when he comes out and pretty much decides when he goes back in.
Well, he's got himself into a pass rush situation now. 3rd and long.
Cowboys allowing 100 or more yards in each of their last 6 games on the ground. And tonight, almost 100 already. Lane has 89 of those yards.
Keep in mind, their last 2 games, 164 to the Oilers, 220 to Green Bay.
3rd down and 6, and Collins to the corner of the end zone, caught by Caruth over Smith for the touchdown.
The rookie from Colorado has had a tough few weeks. Only 5 receptions in the last 6 games. Comes up with a great catch.
Well, Kevin Smith's only problem was he lost track of Caruth and the football both at the same time. Kevin got spun around in the end zone and lost where he was. Well, pretty tough to defend a guy.
And beautifully thrown, too. A little stop move there by Caruth. Kevin Smith trying to stay close, spun around, and the ball was perfectly thrown by Kerry Collins.
Now John Casey for the point after, as the Panthers have just moved 50 yards to score after moving 76 yards and coming up short on a 4th down. But dominant in this quarter, Carolina's outgained Dallas 151 to 49 and lead 10-0. They are a couple of guys in a little agony right now. Smith beaten on that last touchdown catch by Caruth. 51 yards for the Panthers. They've outgained the Cowboys 3-1 thus far in the game, and Walker and Marion are back to receive John Casey's kick. 4:27 left in the half. At the 9-yard line, Walker, and despite the fact Casey's kick pinged him, here goes Herschel again, all the way to the Carolina 45. The one bright spot tonight, Herschel Walker, taken down by the rookie Mike Minter.
He still has that speed. He was a world-class sprinter coming out of Georgia, as well as a great football player, and he maybe has lost half a step, but that's still faster than most of the people that ever have run that have played this game.
He gets in traffic. He takes those little steps. Looks like he's stepping on ants. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And then he always seems to have a feel for which direction to go. Casey, no challenge at all. And Minter really did save a touchdown.
Now Williams behind the new fullback, Sualua. And Williams beating off that spark by Walker with a big run on the first down at the 32-yard line. Chad Cota stopped him.
Sualua with a real fine block in front of Sherman Williams. This is what they've missed. And Daryl Johnson out of the lineup.
And a great block by Larry Allen up front as well. You're right. That was splendid work on the onside by the Dallas Cowboys. Even Michael Irvin got in. Larry Allen came through with an obliteration.
From the 31, Williams again. And Minter grabs him by the shirt and stops him, but not until he reaches the 24-yard line. Gain of 7.
Somebody upset Larry Allen. He just did it again. This guy, there's no question, right tackle, right guard, center, left guard, or left tackle, could be a Pro Bowler at any of the positions. Left side of the screen, there's Larry Allen. Watch how he finishes this block. That is how you do it. Sean King gets pancaked by Larry Allen.
2nd and 2 from the 24. Williams, and look out as big number 93, Mike Fox. He's been hurt a little bit and dinged, but Bob Capers said he's the one guy up front who's been very steady.
He's the guy they like to have there in there on their 4-man front. He's tough against the run. He's a big man. He's about 6'8", close to 300 pounds, and he is a real good run stuffer. They like to have him in there. And the best way to get him in there is to go into a 4-3.
3rd down 5 now from the 26. 2:45 left in the half. 10-0 Panthers. They line up on 3rd down in a 3-4 alignment. Here they come from the corner. And it's dropped at the 20-yard line by Step Trent Williams. Would have been a first down.
Well, Troy did everything but catch it for him. Had it right in there. Had it low where he did not have to go up and stretch and get hit. Perfectly thrown. Troy with a good look, put him right in the numbers.
Richie Cunningham now trying to tie a Dallas record for most field goals in a season. Bonio last year with 32. The league record is 37 by Carolina's John Casey last year. This is a 44-yard attempt. And Cunningham's kick is good. So Walker provides the spark, and with 2:27 left in the half, Cowboys get on the board, but the Panthers still lead by 7. Being provided tonight by Goodyear, downtown Dallas. On your screen right now, and we come back to Texas Stadium in Irving. Toby going to kick off for the Cowboys, who've just scored. With 2:27 left in the half, Panthers leading 10-3. Michael Bates leads the league in kickoff return average this season from the 10, and the Olympic sprinter brings it back out to the 28-yard line. He won a bronze medal at Barcelona in the 200-meter dash. Monday Night Football live on the web. Cast your vote for the MVP of tonight's game in the online MVP poll, all on the web at abcmnf.com.
Later this week, we'll find out about the players we'll be watching in Honolulu.
February 1st in the Pro Bowl.
I guess that's announced on, what, Thursday of this week?
Yeah. It's interesting, you know, last night we were in the meeting with Barry Switzer, and we asked him, well, who deserves to go to the Pro Bowl for the Dallas Cowboys this year? And there must have been a 15-second pause, and that really said it all.
It really did. It's, you know, you've got some automatics like Deion Sanders and maybe guys like Darren Woodson, but he was stumped. You're right.
From the 28-yard line over the middle, Fred Lane, who's had a big night tonight on the ground. 19 carries for 89. Catches a pass here for a gain of 7.
He thought Brock Marion right there as Craig Janoff punches him up. He was one of the guys that he thought was deserving of mention. But it's safe to say, if Barry had his way, the only Cowboys in the Pro Bowl would be on the defensive side of the ball.
10-3, 2-minute warning.
Walter Rasby, the backup tight end for the Carolina Panthers, has a sprained knee. Questionable as to his return in this game.
2nd and 3 at the 2-minute warning. Panthers have all of their timeouts left from the 35. The pass is incomplete. Turning around was the receiver, intended receiver, Muhammad, looking for a flag, but gets on good coverage by Mathis. 3rd down.
Carolina only carries 2 tight ends, Wesley Walls and Walter Rasby. Could have an impact on their running game. There's Wesley Walls, the Pro Bowl tight end. Didn't really blossom with the 49ers. Played behind Brent Jones with New Orleans, but he really blossomed into a great player with Carolina.
3rd down and 3. Over the middle, into traffic, and somehow, someway making the catch and close to a 1st down, and has it is Ray Carew.
This will be a mark.
Got up to the 39. They gave him the mark. 1st down. 1st down and a timeout, Carolina. Back in Irving, Texas, and of course every year the rumors swirl about Barry Switzer and the Dallas Cowboys. And Jerry Jones, the owner of the team, will be with us live at halftime. We'll talk about that, and we'll talk about the Cowboys at halftime. 1:48 remaining in the half. 1st down from the 39-yard line, and the pressure's on. A fumble, and the Cowboys with a huge break recover at the 34. Shante Carver was the guy who jarred it loose, and Broderick Thomas recovers it.
Shante Carver with the old-fashioned club move, where he fakes the move to the inside, comes back, clubs the tackle on the outside shoulder, and Kerry Collins didn't see this coming. Right there.
Brockermeyer, the tackle, Dan, he didn't even make contact hardly.
Nope. That's a good hustle play by Shante Carver, not just wrapping up the quarterback, but swinging the right arm around and knocking out the football. Kerry Collins has to take better care of the football at this stage of a half in Dallas territory.
It's the time to hit Michael Irvin with a big one.
Yeah, you got to have a little more pocket awareness than that, though.
From the 34-yard line. Aikman throwing underneath, and it's knocked down at the line of scrimmage. Les Miller got a hand up. 2nd down and 10.
Well, Les Miller goes 6'7", and he timed that out beautifully. The intended receiver was Irvin.
Baby hung in the air for a while, that ball, after Miller hits it. Kind of popped right up, and fortunately for Dallas, nobody from Carolina's defensive team was in the area where that ball was floating around, or that would have been picked off.
2nd and 10. Michael Irvin still without a catch tonight.
And Anthony Miller not even thrown to.
And Aikman's completed only 2 passes and still only 2.
I think Les Miller got that again. I think it was Les Miller
or Cragen, one of the two. They're both right there.
But Miller, again, he has that tremendous arm span. He's 6'7". You have to throw in the gap between him or around him.
Who got it?
Miller.
Oh, no, Cragen got it.
Oh, Cragen, yeah.
Cragen got it.
Well, he's 6'3".
Oh, so they're ganging up and taking turns on Troy.
Mike Fox is next, I suppose. Troy is 2 out of 13 for 13 yards. 3rd and 10 from the 34.
That's not much of a rating, is it?
Guns it underneath, caught at the 20-yard line by Stepford Williams for a big conversion and a 1st down. He got inside Eric Davis, and that's his 2nd catch of the night.
But that was a great throw by Troy Aikman. He was under pressure, had to throw that without being able to step back into it. He threw that with nothing but the arm and really got something on it. Here's Williams working against Eric Davis, comes back in. And when you work against Eric Davis, you know he's going to close quickly, but a great pass by Aikman. throwing it over the rushing defensive lineman and had enough on it that Eric Davis couldn't react back to the ball. Terrific pass.
And a timeout call by Dallas. They have one left with 1:20 remaining in the opening half.
Eric Davis was always left on that island out there as they try to protect Tyrone Poole on the other side.
Well, Emmett's frustration showing right there. He is a battler, and it's tough. I mean, he knows he's probably done for the night, yet he has to remain in uniform. And very difficult situation for him. Williams has done a pretty nice job, though, in his place. The fake to Williams. Aikman buying time. Aikman drifting and looking, and finally steps out of bounds instead of throwing it away. It's a 7-yard loss.
What are you doing?
If you throw it away, it's 2nd and 10 at the 20. If you step out of bounds, it's 2nd and 17 to the 27.
Well, he takes a 7-yard loss, and would have expected him certainly to find somewhere to throw the ball. Now he's out of the pocket. Let's get rid of it right here. There's nothing happening downfield right there. When he steps out of bounds.
Anywhere in the vicinity of the line of scrimmage is good enough in the eyes of the referee that is trailing you.
And 2nd down and 16, and it's almost if they're trying to get into field goal range, to the displeasure clearly of the crowd. Williams takes it to the 23. They work on Bjornsson. It's going to be 3rd down and 12. If you don't have an interception, that would be the lowest rating you could have at this juncture in the game with those numbers. So there it is, 3 out of 14.
The scale just won't slide any lower.
Right, 3rd down and 13. Troy over the middle. Caught, taken to the 15-yard line, but still well short of the first down is Williams. And with Sanders and Emmett looking on, Cunningham and his group get ready to come into the game. But what the Cowboys are going to do now is they're going to let the clock tick down as much as possible. The Panthers are not inclined to stop the clock, and so they'll take as much time off the clock before they attempt the field goal.
Why wouldn't they take a shot at the end zone? Well, it's 4th down. I guess you're right. It's 4th down.
Fourth down right now, and the Panthers could have stopped the clock and left a little time for them to get it back.
I look up at the scoreboard. It still had 3rd down on it. It's 4th down.
But now Richie Cunningham, who's already tied Boniol's record.
It's interesting, as Dallas calls their time, interesting how Step-Fret Williams has become the receiver for the Dallas Cowboys.
The go-to receiver.
Step-Fret Williams has been the only wide receiver that has had any production at all here in the first half for Dallas.
3rd-round pick from a year ago from Northeast Louisiana.
Irvin 0 catches. Miller 0 catches tonight.
And Anthony Miller not even a call.
No. Well, Step-Fret made that 3rd down catch. Cunningham made a 43-yarder to tie the team record, and now he tries to break it and make it a 4-point lead for Carolina at the half.
And Bjornsson is still without a catch.
Goen, the rookie, will put it down. It'll be a 32-yard attempt. Dale Hellestray will snap it. Barring a penalty, it'll be the final play of the half. And he breaks the Dallas team record. But again, the frustration for the Cowboys as they get down deep and can't advance it any further. They settled for 3. The team's leaving the field for the half, and at halftime, it's the Panthers 10 and the Cowboys 6. We'll talk with Jerry Jones at the half, but for the moment, we'll head to New York and check in there in the studio with Chris Berman. Chris. Carolina leading Dallas by a score of 10-6. 2 Richie Cunningham field goals accounting for the Cowboys scoring. Carolina scoring on a Casey field goal and a Ray Carew touchdown reception, and Toby Goen with a very short kick to Carolina to the 23. Scott Green, the fullback, takes it back out to the 31-yard line. And let's get a word from Lynn Swann. Lynn.
Thank you. I talked to Dom Capers on the way out. He said with reference to the Dallas secondary, they're not doing anything he did not anticipate. But what he's going to do in the second half, which is a major adjustment, is adjust all the pass protection according to wherever Leon Lett is. He is devastating their offensive line, he says, so they're going to call more protection right in his position to give Collins more time. Al?
Keeping an eye on number 78, a guy who hasn't played in a year, but you'd never know it through his performance in the first half tonight. From the 32-yard line, this is Fred Lane, who had a big first half, and the undrafted rookie out of Lane College in Tennessee up to the 36-yard line. It's tackled there by Tony Tolbert.
Well, this is a defense that has had to do more than its fair share this year for the Dallas Cowboys. Their offensive woes have been well documented, and it's this sign, this stage of the season, where you start to show that wear and tear. And Carolina, fully expecting the Dallas defense to fade in the second half, will keep hammering away on the ground.
2nd and 5, and Lane already has 94 yards, coming closer to 100 now, and that would be the 3rd time this season he's been into triple figures. Tackled here by Leon Lett. Talking about Leon Lett, gone for a year since Thanksgiving of '96. Take a look at the difference. The Cowboys winning 2 fewer games, giving up 0.4 of a yard per rush on the ground more, and about 18 yards per game on the ground more without Leon.
This is a Charles Haley that's disappeared over the years, and you start adding them up. In the last 3 or 4 years, they've lost a lot of great players.
3rd and a long 3, and whistles before the snap.
Leon Lett is just wrecking havoc in the middle of that line. Even when the flag.
Ball start prior to the snap.
He makes everything happen.
Offense. 5 yards. 3rd down.
Realistically speaking, there are only a handful of defensive linemen in the NFL today that are capable of completely disrupting another team's offense, and Leon Lett is certainly one of those. You saw the false start there on the right side, Skrepenik, 75, but you have to understand that we saw Dana Stubblefield do it earlier this year in that game with the 49ers. There aren't many that can do it, and Leon Lett is one of those guys, and a classic example. He's terrorizing Carolina tonight.
3rd and 9, Anthony Johnson in the game. He's their 3rd down back. That was Carolina's first penalty, and a screen is set up, and it is caught by Anthony Johnson, and he picks up a 1st down before he's tackled by Marion. He gets all the way out to the 45-yard line.
That's the 3rd time now that Carolina has come at the screen on 3rd down. This is when they come with their exotic blitzing patterns, and they come at the screen and they get the 1st down with it. They're not trying to do anything low percentage to the outside with their Mark Carrier, their wide receiver out. Ishmael is out, and they're just doing high percentage stuff, throwing to Green out of the backfield, trying to get the ball to the Wesley Walls and running the football.
1st down from the 45. Fake to Lane. Collins wings it to the outside, and it's caught, and close to a 1st down is Ray Caruth, who gets up and takes it to the 45 of Dallas.
A terrific catch by Caruth. He went down right to the shoestrings to get that. Collins struggling after coming back from that broken jaw in the summer, passing at 55% completion. I don't know. They gave it to him.
Yeah. Oh, I think that's quite an effort by Caruth. He got his hands underneath that ball.
That was sensational.
Cradled it perfectly.
Darn right he did.
2nd and a short 1 from the 45. Lane for a 1st down. Freddie Lane to the 43, hit first by Chad Hennings. Fred Lane, a guy who has emerged now with, remember, Tim Biakabatuka was drafted out of Michigan. They thought he would be the man, and he ripped his knee up last year and really hasn't been the same. And Lane was inactive. He was a guy who wasn't expected to make the team, and now not only has he made the team, but he is their ace back, and Biakabatuka just hangs around the sideline these days.
And forgotten in all this is the fact that Anthony Johnson had 1,120 yards last year for Carolina.
On 1st and 10, wide open is Muhammad, who got free along the far sideline. 1st down at the Dallas 24.
And Muhammad put a tremendous drive move on Mathis. Mathis bought it all the way. Thought he was going to go deep, broke it to the outside. He was all alone.
That's his first catch of the night, but he's drawn 2 flags.
Mathis not even in the picture. And Muhammad with a big pickup.
From the 24, Freddie Lane trying to get to 100 yards, but not quite yet. Still at 98, hit by Darren Woodson. Actually, they'll give him a gain of 1 forward progress to the 24. That's 23 carries for 99 yards for Fred Lane.
And you know your strong safety is doing a pretty decent job of run support when he's making the stick at the line of scrimmage. That is the gamble that Dave Campo and the Cowboys have always been able to do because of Deion Sanders out at cornerback. It's a little riskier without Deion in the game.
2nd and 10, and that's caught by Muhammad. So Muhammad, who didn't have a catch in the first half, has 2 here early in the 3rd. Got in front of Kevin Smith and is 2 yards shy of the 1st.
He beats Mathis on one side. They bring him to the other side, and he makes the catch in front of Kevin Smith.
And Kerry Collins, who was very conservative in the first half, now starting to work the perimeters of the field, showing a lot more aggressiveness and a great deal more confidence in working out towards the sidelines. Good throws.
3rd and 2. Lane the tailback, Green the fullback. They give it to Lane, and Freddie Lane now has a 100-yard night as he takes the ball down to the 12-yard line, tackled by Dexter Coakley, and it's a 1st down for the Panthers.
2nd in a row for him. He had 112 last week against New Orleans. Earlier against the Raiders, a career high for him in his rookie season, 147 yards. Having a good night.
See that drive headed towards 6 minutes. 5:40 now and counting. Just what Dom Capers was looking for. Nothing flashy. We keep it, we grind it.
Cowboys have not had the ball in this half, and that is caught by Scott Green coming out of the backfield to the 6-yard line, tackled by Randall Godfrey.
Really high percentage stuff. Scott Green with about 4 or 5 receptions tonight, working out of the backfield. And then throwing outs to Muhammad in front of Mathis and in front of Kevin Smith. Ray Caruth thrown in there. So Kerry Collins getting a little more confidence now.
From the 6 on 2nd and 4. Fake the end around the lane, and the pass is caught by Walls, who is thrust out of bounds at the 1, but it'll be a 1st and goal. Wesley Walls, their leading receiver, coming into the game with 55 catches.
And this has been a very nice job of offensive coordinator Joe Pendry doing a whole lot of different things on this drive. Movement by Collins out of the pocket, getting the ball to Muhammad, getting it to Green, getting it to Walls. Everybody is participating in this drive, and a lot of hammering by Freddie Lane.
1st and goal from the 1. And Collins off the play fake, hits Green for the touchdown. And the Carolina Panthers have the ball for almost 7 minutes to start the 2nd half. Green with his first touchdown catch of the season. And a 3rd long drive for Dom Capers' team.
Well, I agree with you, Dan. That was great calling on the part of Joe Pendry, mixing it up on getting the ball to Green coming out of the backfield, throwing to Muhammad, and then hitting Caruth. Sprinkle a few runs in there by Fred Lane. Is a terrific drive.
Yeah, they've been playing in the middle of the field between the hash marks an awful lot. You saw where they changed philosophies, getting it outside to Muhammad. That opened things up, and boy, did they take advantage of it.
John Casey converts.
A part of every coach's halftime speech is get the ball so we can do something with it on offense. What a discouraging drive for the Dallas Cowboys to have it rammed down your throat like they just saw now. They're paid to be enthusiastic. I'm not sure there are many folks in the stands right now that are feeling particularly upbeat about the Cowboys and their performance to date.
6-minute, 57-second Carolina drive. Casey's kickoff. This is fielded by Brock Marion. And he's broke down at the 26-yard line by Mike Minter. Cowboys have it for the first time in the 2nd half. 7:52 left in the 3rd. Panthers by 11.
ABC's NFL Monday Night Football, brought to you by the NASDAQ Stock Market. The NASDAQ Composite Index closed today at 1651.54, up 17.64 points. Back in Irving, Texas, Al Michaels, Frank Gifford, Dan Dierdorf, and Lynn Swann. Monday Night Football with the Carolina Panthers leading 17-6. Emmitt Smith has been gone since early in the first quarter. And more bad news on the Cowboy injury front as Sherman Williams picks up 6. Eric Bjornsson, the tight end, with a fractured fibula. So gone for the night, gone for the season, and the Cowboys, of course, losing Novacek last year, and that man, David LaFleur, their #1 draft choice, will begin to see a lot more action.
Let's check in with Larry Allen again. There, number 73, the second guy up in your picture, working against Allen. Look at again, just, boy, this guy, really, wherever you put him, he's going to be solid.
Williams gets 1. Stopped at the 33, setting up a 3rd and long 3. Sean King on the hit.
Pretty awesome football player in Larry Allen, and I can't begin to tell you how difficult adjustment it is for a guy who's played guard predominantly in his career to all of a sudden find yourself out there at left tackle with 10 days of practice. It's a daunting task, to say the least.
3rd and 3. Aikman 4 out of 15 for 35 yards. Grim numbers, and Irvin makes his first catch of the night at an opportune time on a 3rd down up to the 48-yard line.
Got inside of Tyrone Poole, and the Cowboys able to pick up the blitz that time and protect Troy Aikman, and so he could deliver the ball. Again, coming on the 3rd and pass situation, they come with the blitz. Good drive by Irvin, and the timing was perfect between Aikman and Irvin. Almost how many thousands of times they've thrown this ball in practice.
6 minutes left in the 3rd as Aikman on 1st down will go to the air, looking deep, settles short, hits Williams, and he gets banged down as he crosses the 50-yard line by Andre Royal. We talked about how Carolina could get to the playoffs most easily. For the Cowboys to win the NFC East, they have to win their remaining games, counting tonight. The Redskins have to defeat the Giants this Saturday, and the Eagles have to beat the Skins. To secure a playoff berth, though, if they win 3 and then the Lions lose or tie, and the Redskins and Giants do not tie, they're in as a wild card. But clearly, in both instances, win 3 is the key. And Andre Royal with a royal flush of Sherman Williams right there. And Emmitt Smith, who remained in uniform through the first half, now in civvies.
No factor at all in tonight's game, and you really have to wonder if Emmitt was that bad and without even any contact on the shoulder forced out of the game. You wonder, I hope he didn't waste a lot of snaps during practice thinking he was going to play.
3rd and 7, and Aikman gets sacked. So after 2 big plays by Andre Royal, Sean King finishes off this series with a sack, and Dallas will kick.
It's like they just take turns making mistakes. That time Sean King just working against Nate Newton. Aikman tries to leave the pocket and just runs right into King.
Well, Nate Newton playing hurt, Dan. You know that. We saw him before the game. He looked like he could hardly walk.
Nate was having trouble moving against air. That's how he's got a bad knee, and he's walking with a very noticeable limp.
Very fragile football team.
The rookie Toby Goen. It hits at the 25 and is down at the 22-yard line. Emmitt Smith injured early on, and the rest of the night reflecting that scene for Dallas to this point. Paul Johnson, Deion Sanders, Emmitt Smith, and in the locker room, Eric Bjornsson with a fractured fibula.
You can break the World Bank with that, too.
Wow. Yes. And Kerry Collins calls a timeout. So the same thing that happened to Dallas in the first half happens to Carolina here in the second. Come out of a commercial break and have to take a timeout. 4:25 left in the 3rd. 17-6 Panthers. Back at Texas Stadium in Irving about beating Carolina.
They should have spent a little more time online, because right now they're not beating Carolina.
And Carolina has the ball on an 11-point lead, and Freddie Lane has now gained 107 yards on his 25th carry of the night. Monday Night Football is being brought to you by Ford Explorer, because the world is too big to be left unexplored. Miller Lite, now the official beer sponsor of the NFL. And Paramount Pictures' Titanic, now playing at theaters everywhere.
Oh, what a great shot.
Misty, foggy, but very pleasant in the Metroplex tonight. Second down and 5 from the 30-yard line. Fred Lane, gain of 1. Antonio Anderson is right there. It'll be third down and 4. Here is tonight's Monday Night Football credential fact. Speaking of Fred Lane and the big night he is having, the first player in NFL history whose surname is the same as the name of the college that he attended. Lane College in Jackson, Tennessee, named after one Bishop Lane.
And I know a lot of people are thinking Steve Young and Brigham Young University, but the Brigham, if it was Steve Young University, you'd right.
Steve Hurt researching that fact. Third down and 4, and the catch is made by Muhsin Muhammad. First down up at the 40-yard line.
Muhammad against Kevin Mathis, filling in for Deion Sanders, and that time it does appear that Collins is just getting much more confident in his ability to deliver that football. That one he really had something on. Muhammad with a couple steps downfield, just a drive against Mathis, and he was right there for the first down.
First and 10 at the 40-yard line, and Lane fumbles the ball. Leon Lett covers Lane, but Lane has the football. Loss of 1, but Carolina still has it.
Collins put the pitch right on the hands of Fred Lane. I don't know if he took his eye off of it or wasn't able to. If something else distracted him. And Fred comes off the field.
Rolling his right shoulder. It looks like he's something to do with the right arm of the shoulder.
He was slow to get up the play before. The pitch was right there. Perfect pitch by Collins. Ooh, he landed hard. Landed real hard on that right arm.
And so Tamaga Biaka Batuka comes into the game, and last year's #1 draft choice, who had that knee surgery and really hasn't been the same since, takes it up to the 43-yard line. Now they work on Lane, and we can tell you next week we go west. We go to San Francisco, and this is a beautiful matchup. On Monday Night Football, the Denver Broncos all of a sudden now scrambling for a better playoff position, with Kansas City holding the upper hand against the 49ers, and at halftime next week they will retire Joe Montana's number. That might get an ovation. Just might.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And who knows about Jerry Rice?
Yeah, and Jerry Rice, possible third down and 7 from the 43-yard line. And Collins just has to throw it away. Dave Campo's defense stiffens here, forcing the punt.
The interesting part about that game next week, that a month or so ago, people were actually asking Mike Shanahan how he was going to handle the month of December, if he was going to do anything differently than he did last year. The assumption being that they were going to wrap up home field advantage in the AFC again with a couple games to spare. Now the AFC West very much in play. Much less home field advantage all the way through.
Ken Walter to kick, and this is Stepford Williams to return it, and a returnable kick because it's a line drive, and he takes it at the 20-yard line and brings it back all the way up to the 36-yard line.
Boy, Joe Avezzano's return teams tonight have really been getting it done for Dallas.
From the 36, they'll begin with 56 ticks left in the quarter. Back at Texas Stadium, the Dallas Cowboys begin this drive, and Fred Lane is coming out, clearly favoring the shoulder. Wesley Walls is hobbling, so the Cowboys have had their share of injuries, and now Carolina in trouble. Like a see offensive guys.
Like a scene from MASH here tonight.
From the 34-yard line, a 4-yard gain now on first down for Sherman Williams. George Hegeman, in the meantime, Hegeman has now replaced Nate Newton, who's out of the lineup, so he is hurt.
It's no surprise to us, as badly hobbled as Nate was coming into this game. And it's just hard to imagine a football team in worse shape injury-wise than the Dallas Cowboys. There's Big Nate, the many-time Pro Bowler at left guard. This is a football team that's struggling to put 22 guys on the field.
Second down and 6 from the 37-yard line. Troy has to swing it out to Williams, who has to reach behind him to make the catch. And then a nice gain into Panther territory and out of bounds at the 44-yard line. Michael Barrow forced him out.
Sherman Williams very effective on that flare. He has a great burst once he catches the football. Good checkoff man for Troy. Gets the first down.
And they'll wind the clock, and that will signal the end of the third quarter. That's the end of 3 in Irving, Texas. Carolina 17, Dallas 6. Monday Night Football resumes after this from our ABC stations. To Stadium, Al Michaels, Frank Gifford, Dan Dierdorf, Lynn Swan. Dallas trailing by 11 on first down from the Panther 44. It is Williams tackled by Mills after a gain of 5, and a sparkling, beautiful shot of Big D, Dallas, Texas.
Well, Carolina, check this out. When they have the lead going into the fourth quarter, has never lost a game. 21-0. Home and away, it doesn't matter. When they take a lead into the fourth quarter, they win.
Second down and 5. They lead by 11 tonight. Williams moves it to the outside. No place to run, and a flag comes in from the secondary. Bob McElwee is the referee, one of the very best.
And this is holding against the Cowboys.
And now the Panthers look over toward their bench to figure out whether they want to take the play or the penalty.
Holding number 89, offense. 10-yard penalty. Repeat the down. Second down.
David LaFleur, who's taken the place of Eric Bjornsson, who's been sent to the showers because of a broken leg. And now LaFleur, the #1 draft choice, gets the assignment as their #1 tight end for the rest of the year. There's no doubt that he's going to be a quality football player. But again, is he ready in just his first year? Huge man, 6'7" and 280.
Second down and 15 from the Panther 49. Miller pressures Aikman. He gets it off, and it's caught by Williams to the 39-yard line, 5 yards short of the first. It'll be 3rd and 5, tackled by Michael Barrow.
Frantic throw there by Troy Aikman, and well handled by Sherman Williams, who kind of taken off guard.
A nice job by Troy Aikman. This beautiful shot through the hole in the roof here in Texas. A live shot from the perfect vantage point to watch this game. Nice job by Troy Aikman, though, of staying alive. Flush from the pocket. Very, very poor protection.
3rd and 5. Pressure. Aikman goes down, and the pass is out of bounds. It'll be 4th down, and Troy hits the deck. Andre Royal salutes himself.
Well, they've been doing it all night. Carolina coming with the blitz on 3rd down. Other than that, they've been staying pretty much in a 2 deep zone. But on 3rd down, passing situation, they bring everybody.
There's just more people than the Cowboys can block. Royal untouched, and he does his job, even though he doesn't get there in time to break up the pass. He breaks up the quarterback, and they're going to go for it on 4th down.
4th and 5 at the 39-yard line. They're in no man's land. No way they're going to try the pooch punt here, and Walker makes the catch, but he is short of the first down by 2 yards. They went to Herschel, and Rod Smith, the cornerback, the extra back, who comes in from the dime, makes the stop. Carolina takes over on downs. of the game, and Poole and Davis have just been brilliant tonight at the corners.
Well, they've had help from the other guys in the secondary, but they have completely removed the Dallas wide receivers from participating in this game.
Now Biakabatuka with a flag down.
Leon Lett got tackled. He's not having much. They're losing the ball game, but man, is he having an impact on this game.
Matthew Campbell again, who's had a nightmare night with Leon Lett.
Holding number 65, offense. 10-yard penalty, repeat first down.
That's Frank Garcia, the center, who just comes over and hornswoggles, tackles, calf ropes. Watch this. He's going to move to his left, and he just bulldogs Leon Lett to the ground.
Oh, I tell you.
Oh, he hornswoggled him.
I love that. I love that phrase.
He lassoed him.
Corralled him. In the meantime, with Lane already out, and they're working on his shoulder, and Walls out with a knee sprain, that is Kerry Collins who is getting the attention. An injury timeout.
After the pitch to Biakabatuka, Kerry Collins is just watching the play. Watch his left ankle right here as he gets rolled up on. Ooh, look how it snaps all the way over.
Tony Casillas involved in that play, and the Steve Berline has to come in at quarterback on first down from the 26. And Biakabatuka picks up 4. So you've got the backup quarterback, the backup running back, and Hennings makes the stop. Monday Night Football is being brought to you by Nissan. It reminds you that life is a journey. Enjoy the ride. The Home Depot, America's home improvement coach. Black & Decker, all the new cordless power tools powered by VersaPack, built by Black & Decker. And Taco Bell. Want some?
Steve Berline, as you look at Kerry Collins, to work on that left ankle, former Dallas Cowboy, had some of his better games here a few years ago.
Specifically in 1991, as Berline throws, and that's knocked down and nearly picked off, and Leon Lett was the man who made contact with the ball but couldn't hold it. So they work on Collins, who had a concussion last week and the fractured jaw earlier in the season and was benched, you might recall, after that Monday night game in Charlotte as Berline made a start in Minnesota. Steve helped lead the Cowboys to the playoffs in '91 here.
Yes, he's also with the Raiders, he's with the Cardinals, he was with Jacksonville before he came to Carolina, so he's playing for his 5th team.
3rd and 16 now from the 30-yard line. Cowboys showing a 3-man front and a 3-man rush. And Berline going deep for Muhammad, and somehow, some way, he makes the catch. What a fabulous catch at the 32-yard line. Kevin Mathis sticking to him like glue, but over the head of Muhammad, he holds on for a 38-yard gain.
You come off the bench and throw a pass like that. Just perfectly thrown by Berline, because Mathis was in pretty good position. He gives away a lot of height to Muhammad, but this ball was thrown over the shoulder. Mathis could do nothing about it, and it's a great catch. Good concentration by Muhammad.
Did he get both feet in bounds? That was really close as to whether he had possession of the football and got both feet in bounds.
There was a little bit of contact. Bob McElwee just asking for the change to be reset. So meanwhile, Carolina, for the backup quarterback, backup running back, and their 2 top wideouts out, convert on a 3rd and 16 here.
There's the right foot down. He gets possession. The left foot, the right foot rather, when it comes down well out of bounds, and you hear the crowd. We served that replay up for them as well, and they didn't like it.
On further review,
they sent it back.
Biakabatuka picks up 3, tackled by Strickland. Another look.
Where is possession? Not there. There's where he's got possession. The left foot is down, but the right foot is well out of bounds.
Well, a tough call for an official, too. We look at it in slow motion. It's so easy. And even in looking at it, we have to look at it 2 or 3 times.
Oh, yeah. It happens very fast. But seeing that we have slow motion, we're obliged to look at it.
2nd down and 7. Biakabatuka. Stop for no gain. Tony 2:40 to go in the fourth. Steve Furline at a Notre Dame. And Freddie Lane is back along the sideline with the shoulder injury. Meanwhile, Chad Hennings has limped off for Dallas.
Wesley Walls has a sprained knee. And a nightmare.
And we said their two top receivers are out. They work on Hennings. 3rd down and 7. Huge play for the Dallas defense at this point in the game here. Furline swings it out. Green, good move. Flag is down though. Green's a yard shy of the first.
And I think they're going to call holding. No, this is going against Dallas.
Illegal hands to the face. 78 defense.
Whoa, Leon Lett.
5-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Leon thought he drew a holding call. Blake Brockermeyer's the left tackle. Right there, he's working against Leon. Yeah, you can see Leon has the right hand in his face. Lett works to the outside. Brockermeyer certainly holding Lett. And that's where when I saw the flag, I thought they were calling holding on Brockermeyer.
Well, Lett thought that too.
Yes, he did.
Because he was being held, but he had that hand in the face.
When the play was over, Leon Lett, going by Bob McElwee, the referee, patted him on the backside as, hey, way to spot that.
Eighth penalty against Dallas, and 4 of those penalties have resulted in Carolina first downs. First down at the 24. Wrestled down near the line of scrimmage.
Who wanted to cut back, and there was Leon Lett again. You know, when you look at Leon Lett play tonight, and if you're a Cowboy fan, part of you is so happy that he is back. The other part of you has to be a little bit angry, thinking what difference would he have made to this football team if he wouldn't have been selfish and made the mistake he made, costing himself an entire year.
A whole year. Chicago against St. Louis is the Sunday night game on ESPN. Our game is a classic, a regular season classic. Broncos 49ers next week on Monday night. This is Biaka Matuka to the 19-yard line. Dan, you're right. And the one thing about the Cowboys this year, I mean, Jerry Jones was very concerned about the image of this team. So was Troy Aikman, and they really have cleaned up their act. I mean, there's been no police blotter stuff with the Dallas Cowboys this season, but on the field it's been another story.
So many injuries tonight. We talked about earlier in the game. For any possibility of these two teams to get into the playoffs, they have to win it out. They have to each have to win tonight and the next two games, and both teams have been hurt by key injuries tonight that could affect them right through the remainder of the season.
3rd down and 5, and again it's Biaka Matuka, and he breaks a tackle in the backfield but still can't go anywhere. Broke out of the grasp of Woodson, but then is sent down by Stoudemire, and Woodson, who came into the game hurt anyway, is re-injured.
Leon's chasing everything tonight.
Well, I'm talk about an enthusiasm for the game, having to watch for a year, but he is just dominating the play. Darren Woodson gets in there, though. He breaks up the play. Leon, nothing to go to the inside. That's a good overall pursuit by Dallas.
40-yard field goal attempt by John Casey, and last year's Pro Bowl kicker, looking for another trip to Honolulu. 8:01 left in the fourth. Carolina 20, Dallas 6. Provided by Goodyear. On a beautiful night in the Metroplex, but not so beautiful if you're a Cowboy fan, because their team is trailing right now 20-6, on the verge of dropping out of playoff contention. Not mathematically, but for all intents and purposes, the loser of this game is done. Carolina leads by 14, and Herschel Walker Brings it back past the 20 up to the 22-yard line. He's tackled by Purcell Gaskins. So Aikman trying to rally the Cowboys, who've been limited tonight to 2 field goals. 7:51 to play. The offense tonight, 3.5 yards per play.
149 total yards.
If you're averaging 3.5 per rush, you're having not a very good night. That's 3.5 per play. Passing and rushing.
And unfortunately, something that's not unusual, 0 touchdowns.
And the pass is caught up at the 40, and it's Miller. Anthony Miller, completely silent until this point, 19-yard gain.
Silent mainly, Al, because they have not even looked his way.
Sean King is shaken, the defensive lineman for Carolina, and thus the clock is stopped, as King will need some assistance in getting off.
Yeah, it's not like they've been bouncing off of Anthony Miller's hands.
No.
I'm not sure that Troy Aikman has even thrown in Miller's direction prior to this ball right here.
And watch this catch, too. Right in the traffic. And I think that's the first time they've made an attempt tonight to go to Anthony Miller. Sean King hobbled as he comes off.
It's so elementary, it makes that man that much more effective. Every ball that Anthony Miller catches, every opportunity he gets to make a reception on the other side of the field from Michael Irvin makes Irvin his job that much more easier. That much more easier. Good English. That much easier. That was really.
You're a Michigan guy.
I'm talking like Dallas is playing. Oh, Al, that's really.
I just wanted to point out Michigan being the Rose Bowl.
You know, that is really.
That leads me. I was going to get a Michigan-Washington State Rose Bowl pop in.
Al, you have.
In fact, you're very vulnerable, Al.
Yeah, I was going to say. Of all people,
I won't go there, but
we should be maintaining a low profile when it comes.
Exactly right. Well, I'm not using an electric razor this week. I know that. 1st and 10 from the 41-yard line. Here is Aikman back to pass. And that's caught by Michael Irvin, and the flag comes in. They're going to get into the play.
They're going to get Michael for pushing off.
Oof.
Working against Tyrone Poole. He's been doing it all night. He does it every game, but gets away with a lot of it.
I think Michael's arguing that Poole had contact well beyond the 5-yard area. Don't touch him, Michael. Don't touch him.
Drives right into Poole, pushes him away. When you push him down, you get in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
Just more frustration than anything.
And let's be serious. When Michael spiked the ball, he knew the call was against him. It's not like he thought that call was going against Poole.
Now 1st and 20. Aikman dumps it off, and that's caught by David LaFleur, the tight end, the #1 pick out of LSU last year, out of bounds at the 48 after an 18-yard gain.
David LaFleur is 6'7" and 280 pounds.
And now somebody else is down on the field for the Cowboys.
And Bjornsson with the broken fibula. But this is a big man. Looking for a collision.
Longest reception of the season for LaFleur, officially 17 yards, and Anthony Miller needs some assistance.
Anthony Miller is woozy. He is not steady on his legs as he heads over to the Cowboy bench.
You're right, Dan. He's curious about his area code.
Not a good sign when the trainer's holding onto your jersey. Less than 50% for Troy Aikman and less than 125 yards. A disappointing first 3.5 quarters.
2nd and 3 now from the 47-yard line. Troy going deep, breaking free is Irvin to get Dallas back into the game.
You stay with it long enough. Beautifully thrown pass. Victimizing Tyrone Poole. Little move to the outside and then just a sprint. Poole got caught flat-footed. He didn't have help on the inside, and a perfectly thrown pass.
And right back in it, the Cowboys are.
Top of your screen. There's Poole. He goes for the little stutter step. Doesn't get the help from the inside from Pat Terrell. Explosive combination.
Richie Cunningham for the point after. Ooh, and it is just good. Irvin's 9th touchdown reception of the season, 52 yards. And with the season on the line, this is exactly what they needed.
Good protection this time for Aikman. The little move, little stutter step, just caught Tyrone Poole. He went for it, didn't get the help from the inside from Terrell. Terrell perfectly thrown.
Yeah, and you saw Poole again looking into the backfield. That little pump fake by Aikman. That's the reason that Poole bit on the little shake to the outside by Michael Irvin. Well, that was really a nicely executed play between the two Cowboys.
Looks so easy. We've seen it so many times, and yet they've struggled so mightily all night long.
That extra point by Richie Cunningham right here. The hold by Goen.
Barely. The previous call, when he was called for pushing off of Tyrone Poole, came close to getting in trouble there.
Now Toby Goen to kick off. Michael Bates, the league's leading kickoff returner, the Olympic sprinter, showing you why. All the way up to the 41, and the flag is down at the 36-yard line just before he went out of bounds.
It's safe to venture we might see Michael Bates in Honolulu.
Well, when you average almost 30 yards a kick return, and that one won't work on his average because that's coming back.
Holding number 27 on the return. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Damon Pieri and Brad Seeley so angry with a special teams group that was probably overall the best in the league last year, but all sorts of problems this year.
The only good news for Carolina is that the hold came up towards the end of Bates' return. So they still get relatively good field position up almost at the 26-yard line.
Collins coming back in for Carolina.
It's 10 yards from the spot of the foul. So because the hold was at the latter stages of the return, not bad.
Cowboy fans are back.
Collins back in and Lane back in. Split back set. Caruth resets on the right side, and Collins to throw on first down, and Muhammad can't make the catch. Looks for a flag, gets none. Kevin Mathis with the coverage.
Cowboys come with the blitz right away. They know that Collins has gone out of the game, had his ankle taped up, probably will not be able to move around as much as he was before, and he never won for moving around much anyway. And Deion Sanders says, well, let's go, guys.
Well, it looked like Mathis was all over Muhammad.
Well, he was. He pushed him past the 5-yard mark.
Oh, that is blatant interference.
On 2nd and 10, with the crowd roaring, they go back to Freddie Lane, next to nothing. 3rd and 9. And the Cowboys playing like a team that knows their season's at stake.
Well, it's nothing new for them to be getting good effort from this defensive unit. When the final story on 1997 is written about the Cowboys, you're going to be well into it before you get around to putting a lot of the blame on the doorstep of Dave Campbell's defensive unit.
3rd and 9, 5:40 remaining in the 4th.
Cowboys need a play here.
Four-man rush and good protection, and it's knocked down at the 34 by Charlie Williams.
Caruth was wide open downfield.
And now Walter to kick.
could be good field position for Dallas.
Fred Williams back to receive it. And an ugly bad kick. Ugly kick. And it bounces for Dallas at the 46-yard line.
Ken Walton, when they needed one, didn't come through for him.
And you can almost sense it, and so can the crowd. Not only is a season at stake, but almost, without overstating it, the dynasty itself, the Cowboys as we know them. If they lose tonight, well, their season is about done, and so are the Cowboys as we have known them through the 90s.
Well, and it's very fashionable now to point out all the flaws with this football team and the program. Troy Aikman and his group could go a ways to at least put a halt to it for a while, at least a week.
From the 46, over the middle, caught by LaFleur. He drops the football, and it is Williams who comes in and recovers it. Sherman Williams saves the day.
Boy, did he. He had the ball, David LaFleur, the rookie first-round draft pick from LSU, filling in for the injured Bjornsson. Good pass by Aikman as he gets protection once again. Hits him right in the numbers. And it's just great defensive play by Michael Barrow. Pulled that ball right out of there.
On 2nd and 6 from the 50 to the ground to Williams, and he can't get out of the backfield. Lamar Lathan helps break the play up, getting by Herschel Walker. 3rd down.
I think it's safe to say we're in a 2-down scenario now. 3rd down coming up. Should they be sure we would think that having gone for it once already in a similar area, that they would go again on 4th.
Third down, 6 from the 50. 4 receivers set. And they pitch it to Williams. And Williams dies, but he's short of the 1st down. They'll spot it at the 45.
He's following Eric Williams out in front of that play, and Williams is acting like he can't even run. He's clutching his side. Eric Williams, he's down on the... Did you watch him try to run and lead that play?
So he's hurt, but there's a Panther who we can't identify yet who's still down.
Look at Williams try. He's look. He clutches his side. He was really in a position to spring Sherman Williams.
Well, he's hurt.
Yeah, and Williams ends up being tackled because Williams can't get out there and make the play on Davis.
Right, and Eric Davis is the downed Panther.
Boy, that's Sherman Williams was expecting Eric Williams to take care of Eric Davis.
Boy, and Eric Davis took it right on the helmet with the knee.
Look at Williams grab his side. And Sherman Williams, it looks like he's completely blinded. He can't see around Eric Williams, and he was tackled there by Davis, and that's dangerous anytime you see a player take a blow to the head like that. And the entire Carolina medical staff is surrounding Eric Davis.
Eric Davis came in very low. He thought he was going to be hit by Eric Williams. And Williams just unable to carry out the block. Right down. He goes down, didn't even come close to Eric Davis. Davis thought he was going to be hit. Was way down low and caught it. They're going to bring a stretcher out.
Yeah. There was some movement from Eric Davis a moment ago, and they're going to immobilize him and bring in the equipment. And it always the game itself at this point always seems so trivial, and yet the game continues on with the 4th down and 1 upcoming for the Dallas Cowboys. So Davis, and he was the first Panther when we asked Dom Capers last night to talk about his potential Pro Bowl people. The former 49er is the first guy that he mentioned.
Well, he went last year, Dan, to the Pro Bowl. He's went 5 times with the 49ers. Great football player.
Well, the Panthers with 10 interceptions coming in tonight. Eric has half of them with 5. And again, we have come so far in this medical arena and how we protect the player and immobilize them and take no chances whatsoever until they know the full extent of his injuries. And you're left in a situation like this to only hope and pray for the best. Take good news in small increments, and that's a very good sign.
And we'll get whatever news we get as quickly as we can to you. And meanwhile, as Al pointed out, for Dallas, it is the play of the game.
It's the play of the game. It's 4th down and a short 1. It's the 45-yard line. Rod Smith comes in Davis's spot, and the Cowboys come up down by 7. 3:42 left. Out of the eye. Williams, the tailback. They fake it to Sherman. Aikman rolling and looking, and now scrambling for his life and scrambling to keep the drive alive, and goes down at his own 30-yard line.
You explain that call to me, Dan.
Well, first of all, you've got guys playing that are not a whole lot of help. Eric Williams at right tackle is a player that I don't know why he's on the field. He's obviously hurt so bad he can't block anybody.
It's got to be the only reason they didn't run the football. They're less than a yard to go. Come with a rollout. Dom Capers, his reaction when Troy Aikman goes down.
We'll take a gift any way we can get it.
That's the look of a coach who's just watched his defense on a 4th down play turn in a 25-yard loss for the Cowboys. And now they'll take some time off the clock as Freddie Lane picks up 3. There's a flag down. Dallas has all of its timeouts left, plus the 2-minute warning. But the big problem they have, and the penalty is going to be against them to begin with here, is that if they give up a field goal, they're now down by 10 again. They'll have to score twice.
Defense, nose tackle lined up in the neutral zone. 5 yards, repeat the down, 1st down.
Cowboys have all 3 of their timeouts. They're going to need them. Now they're looking at the left rib, the big Eric Williams. And that appeared to be what was troubling him, Dan, not the arm.
Yeah, you could see him clutching at that side. It is almost catastrophic what is happening to the Cowboys from an injury standpoint. I know it's the time of the year where again, we go back at looking at him grabbing that side when this is the play where Eric Davis gets hurt.
The irony.
And on the 4th down play, he's barely able to stand and get in anybody's way.
1st down and 5 now at the 25-yard line. Lane on the ground. Lane to the 21, and the Cowboys are really in no man's land in terms of taking time out. Davis, they are telling us, was briefly unconscious, but he is saying that he is okay and he has been taken off as a precautionary measure, is the initial report on Eric Davis.
And a good move.
Very, very good news.
Well, the Cowboys still have all 3 of their timeouts remaining. And the time is coming after we see what Carolina does on this 2nd and short play when they're going to have to start using them.
A few moments ago, the irony of the medical man who was checking out Williams' ribs. That was a Super Bowl ring that he was wearing. Maybe the end of the dominance, certainly the end of the dominance, maybe the end of an era here in Dallas.
The play clock was reset by McElwee. But the game clock is still ticking now. It's 2nd down and 1 at the 21-yard line. Full start.
Prior to the snap, number 52 offense. 5 yards, repeat the down, 2nd down.
Matt Elliott. You know, there's another thing in play here. Barry Switzer has been a coach. He started in '73 at Oklahoma. He has never in his career ever lost 3 games in a row, and he has been a head coach now for a total of 258 games. And I know you can denigrate it and say he coached against a lot of Big 8 teams through the years, but that, I don't care what level it's on, that is amazing.
It really is, truly amazing.
And he's on the verge right now of losing 3 games in a row for the first time ever. 2nd and 6. And Lane to the 23. Now the Cowboys look around and do take the timeout here.
Dallas was saying they could win their last 3 games if they have not had a 3-game winning streak all season long.
Through it all, no matter what happens tonight, as we mentioned earlier, neither team would get mathematically eliminated with a loss, but good luck. Meanwhile, you can check out the NFL online at NFL.com. Check the scores and stats and video clip highlights at that address.
How proud a career Bill Bates has had. 15 years, this volunteer from Tennessee, and
came up as a free agent.
Yeah, and he's been a reserve for so many years. The last game he started for the Dallas Cowboys was the last game that Tom Landry coached the Dallas Cowboys. That has how long Bill Bates has been a role player here.
Superb special teams player and great inspirational player.
3rd down and 2. At the 22. Lane. Woo, and of all things, picks up the 1st down. It'll be 1st down at the 10, stopped by Woodson, and that'll take us to the 2-minute warning, and that will come pretty close to riding a finish. Panthers at the 2-minute warning, leading the Cowboys 20-13. Stars from the PGA Tour, the Senior PGA Tour, and the LPGA in a very interesting format. The annual Diners Club matches coming your way on ABC this Saturday at 4 Eastern and Pacific and 3 Central Time.
Well, get out the snapshots, the cameras right now, and start taking pictures, because I suspect that the next time we see Dallas and the Cowboys, it's going to be a vastly different team than the one we see now in many respects.
Well, certainly offensively it will.
1st down, 1st and goal from just inside the 10. And Freddie Lane will take it to the 3-yard line. And Dallas still has 2 timeouts left, but that will just, in effect, prolong the agony.
Nor does it seem they're going to use them.
This football team now must win its remaining 2 games just to get back to 500. And this bears no resemblance to the last time this franchise walked off a football field holding the Lombardi Trophy.
2nd down and goal from the 3. To the 1. You know what's ironic too is you look at Jerry Richardson, whose team stays alive, and they'll go home to face Green Bay next week, and if they can beat Green Bay and St. Louis in their home park and have Detroit lose once and Washington lose once, they go to the playoffs. But for Dallas, I think the irony, gents, remember opening day, this team destroyed the Steelers in Pittsburgh.
And keep in mind, last week The Panthers were beaten at home by New Orleans.
Yep.
How crazy is this? And on the road in a huge game for both clubs in Texas Stadium, one of the toughest places to win, the Panthers come in here and pretty much manhandle the Cowboys.
You know, you mentioned that Pittsburgh game. Troy Aikman's thrown 17 touchdown passes this season. He threw 4 in that first game. And they have struggled almost since.
And in a 7-point game, who would believe that sight with that many empty seats? And writing everything but a mathematical finish now to the Cowboys season. Again, they could, yes, you could still get into the playoffs.
And a penny for Jerry Jones' thoughts now and in the weeks to come.
3rd down and goal from the 1. And Freddie Lane tries to fight his way in and does not.
Did he fumble? Cowboys are acting like he dropped the ball.
No signal yet. Dallas is going to take a timeout.
Timeout. 30-second timeout.
Dallas's last timeout.
Terrific game by Lane. Does look like he loses the football right at the end. Tries to reach out to get the ball over the goal line. The ball is loose there.
Looked like he got it back. Fred got it back himself.
Short of the goal line.
Yep.
Well, what they'll do now on 4th and goal is they'll make it next to mathematically impossible for Dallas to win without a timeout and kick a field goal.
Great job tonight by Kenny Wolf, producing as always down in the truck. Craig Janoff directing, and our magnificent crew. We had a great look at what was happening here tonight. Thanks, everybody.
Kenny is still the only big-time producer in television who only uses his first and last name and no middle name. As Casey kicks it through for 3. An 18-yarder.
Speaking of Casey, the little one's doing quite well, as a matter of fact, at home.
Casey
the whole family. Coming up on her, what, 3rd Christmas.
And speaking of the other Casey, how about the Kansas City Chiefs? All of a sudden now the number 1 seed in the AFC. Speaking of the playoffs, if the season ended tonight, if with a fortnight to go.
Brace yourself.
But if the season ended, that's the way it would stack up in the AFC. Kansas City coming off their rout, their annihilation of the Raiders yesterday, number 1. Pittsburgh 2nd. They'd have the byes. And in the NFC, San Francisco and Green Bay would have the byes. And Carolina would be a half game behind Washington.
One thing I know for sure, check out SportsCenter tomorrow, because I bet you there's some good quotes coming out of the Cowboy locker room when this game is over. There will be some newsworthy stuff come out of there.
Maybe not Michael Irvin. Didn't he leave the Tennessee game with his uniform on?
Yeah, he did.
Not a whole lot to be said. Been pretty well documented.
Training room's going to be mighty crowded in Dallas this week. Going to have to take a number to get in the Whirlpool.
This team over the last few years, they've lost some great players to injuries, to retirement, to free agency. When you look at this team now and you think of the Super Bowl teams, and it's hard to recognize.
John Casey's kickoff, and that's taken by Scott Galbraith, tight end, who brings it back up to the 37-yard line. So Emmett gone early tonight. Irvin took him a while to get on track tonight, and he provided that brief moment of opportunity on that 52-yard touchdown reception.
Again, though, just a 1-touchdown game for the Cowboys. So appropriate for the way they have played all year. Again, a game, more field goals than touchdowns.
Aikman hit as he throws and gets it off to the floor, and he gets tackled at the 39, lost the ball, but no fumble. They retain possession. Nary a timeout left.
Michael Barrow leveling Aikman and looking down at him almost sympathetically.
2nd down and 8 from the 39.
Got him again.
Yep. Well, it's almost a season. Another symbolic moment, I suppose. Tim Morabito recovered it after Michael Barrow dislodged it. And it ends in one final blaze of ingloriousness. And Barry Switzer, for the first time in a long and stellar coaching career, will taste defeat for the third time in a row.
Tony Hudson is in there at right tackle now. And
who's he?
Well, don't ask Michael Barrow. He wasn't in front of him long enough to get to know him.
Fourth time Aikman has been sacked tonight. He's gone down 30 times this season. And Carolina, with one final kneel down, can end it. And the Panthers stay alive, go home to face Green Bay next week.
Dallas goes to Cincinnati.
At Cincinnati next week, and the Dallas to wrap it up against the Giants. And the Panthers come in as an underdog tonight after what Don Capers said was the most agonizing defeat he has ever suffered against New Orleans last week. And his team stays alive with a 23-13 win over the Dallas Cowboys, who are now 6-8. And we will be back to wrap it up from Texas Stadium in a moment.